we reach Bagot Central at 36:42 and 35:26, now depart Central again for their third trip to Clyde. While the locos departed, we take a look around the display. The first carriage we see is GMS1. This carriage is privately owned and is stored at the New South Wales Rail Transport Museum at Thirlmere. It is used on Premier Class tour trains and private train charters. Leading the display train is the Powerhouse Museum's 3265. We will have more of this locomotive later. The next carriage we see is the former Commissioner's car. Unfortunately, there is no entry to this carriage. Back in its working period, this carriage was for the Commissioners of the New South Wales Railways. Our next carriage is something spectacular. This is the famous Southern Aurora carriages, a 1960s icon of Australia. The pictures seen here on the museum's club cars are pictures of Victorian locomotives and New South Wales locomotives, as the Southern Aurora travels from Sydney to Melbourne. Many Australian artist pictures are painted here.
I can step out, the train stop, you step outside, must be about -5 or something. You know, I always do like in the winter time. It's a pretty bitter place.
Well, my father spent a lot of his younger years in and around Lithgow.
Oh yeah.
After looking in the passenger car, we now take a look at the dining room. But first off, here is the kitchen in the train. After battling the competition of air and road from Sydney to Melbourne, the Southern Aurora was withdrawn from railway service in the early 1990s. It was then placed under the New South Wales Rail Transport Museum's banner in 1993. Unfortunately, the public are not allowed to be in the sleeping car of the Southern Aurora. The power van seen here was built in 1984. At the end of the display train, we see the Rail Transport Museum's 4520 and 4490. On the other side of the display train is the Powerhouse Museum's newly restored locomotive 3265. The locomotive was restored by the award-winning restoration team of 3830 at the Everleigh Railway Workshops in 2009. The locomotive is now on display at the Rail Heritage Centre, the New South Wales Rail Transport Museum at Thirlmere. Many people managed to get into the cab of 3265. Here, the fireman is shoveling the coal to make the fire going. Meanwhile, 3642 and 3526 return to the station. But before we see the locomotives again, we take a look at the Indian Pacific. The Indian Pacific was first introduced in 1970, with a standard gauge line travelling from Sydney to Perth.
Now, can you see on the other side, there's actually a train coming in that's got lots of cars on it. Can you see that?
The Indian Pacific is seen here leaving Central Station to get hooked onto its other set of carriages, ready for its long trip to Perth in Western Australia.